The hospital call came just past midnight. Your son was in a car accident. You're his emergency contact. I laughed at first, a cruel, hollow sound. That's impossible. I don't have a son. I'm infertile. The nurse's voice faltered. Please, just come. You have to see him. Something in her tone pulled me out of the warmth of denial. I drove through empty streets, headlights dragging across black asphalt like pale knives. When I reached the ICU, the smell hit first, sterile, suffocating. Then the sight. The boy, hooked to machines, skin pale under fluorescent lights, and my heart stopped. Because I recognized his face. Not from memory, from the present. The shape of his jaw, the slope of his nose. His eyes, though closed, carried an echo I knew too well. He looked like my wife. The nurse whispered his name, a name I'd never heard. I stood at his bedside, rigid. The boy was no stranger, not entirely. Something in him was familiar, but not mine. Never mine. The sterile walls pressed closer with every second. Questions screamed in silence. How could he exist? Who was his father? Why was I listed as the one to call when blood spilled across his young body? I thought of her, my wife, her late nights, her vague explanations, the sudden business trips. I had folded her words into truths because it was easier, but the boy's face didn't lie. That night, I didn't confront her. I let her sleep soundly while the ICU machines still breathed for him. I sat in darkness, hands gripping the armrest, my mind unfolding her betrayal piece by piece. I didn't shout. I didn't weep. I planned. The next days blurred into shadow. I carried on with precision, as if nothing had shifted. I smiled at her over breakfast, asked about her meetings, kissed her cheek as though my lips weren't poisoned by truth. But beneath it all, I worked. First, the hospital forms. I copied them when no one was looking. Emergency contacts, insurance papers, records linking her to the boy. Then her phone, left unattended in the kitchen while she showered. Locked, but not for me. I knew her code. Everyone always locks to keep the world out. No one locks for the one they trust. Inside, I found the trail. Messages with a man's name I had never heard her say. Arrangements, hotels, years of deceit woven through time we had shared. And the DNA test. I ordered it quietly. The boy's blood taken from the hospital lab. My own mailed with it. Days passed. I played the dutiful husband while something venomous grew in me. She didn't see it. She couldn't. Betrayers rarely sense the storm until it breaks. The envelope came on a Tuesday. Thin, innocent. But inside, it carried the end of everything. No match. No relation. He was hers. He was theirs. When I placed the results on the table that night, her laughter died mid-sentence. She saw my eyes before she saw the paper. Her hands shook as she unfolded it. Words drained the color from her face. She gasped, searching for lies, but the science left no room for them. I can't explain, she whispered. I said nothing. Silence was my blade. Her body collapsed into sobs, but I didn't move. I just watched her unravel, the way she had once watched me trust. The next morning I drove her to the hospital. She thought it was concern, a second chance to plead, to rewrite the truth. When we reached the boy's room, I stepped aside, letting her see him. Machines breathed for him, but the resemblance was undeniable. I placed the DNA report on the counter, inches from his fragile body. Her eyes flicked between the paper, the boy, and me. She broke. Tears clawed down her face, words tumbling out in fragments. Love, mistakes, confusion, regret. None of it mattered. I leaned in, voice calm, sharp. You made me his contact. You gave me his blood without my consent. You forced your lie into my life. Now you'll watch me walk away with it. And I did, leaving her caged between truth and guilt, bound forever to a child who was hers, but not mine. At home, I packed in silence. Every photo, every memory, stripped from walls that had hidden her deceit. I didn't rage. I didn't destroy. I simply erased. My marriage had ended long before that boy's accident. I just hadn't seen it. Betrayal doesn't begin with discovery. It begins with the first lie. She had built her life on them. I had carried the cost. Not anymore. As I closed the final box, a thought settled over me with the weight of finality. She was bound to the boy, to her mistakes, to the man she'd chosen over me. And me? I was free. Because some truths don't wound, they cauterize.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Subscribe now to Cheating Stories Insight World for more amazing stories.